Hello and welcome to another free code session. My name is Jason Bach, and I've gone ahead and finished this work. I think this is what I was doing in the last episode. I can't remember, but I was doing some work. I think it was this one, and I realized I'd kind of messed things up and not handled open generics correctly. I realized I actually hadn't even added the non-generic version of the attributes that I had before, or that I still currently have, into the analyzer, so they don't technically work there. But since I'm going to remove them in 9, I was like, don't really care about adding them in there anyway. But there are a couple things I messed up with this, and I had to change a whole bunch of test code anyway, and that would have been a boring episode to watch. So I decided I just was starting to, do all this work off camera and trying to fix things. I actually deleted my branch and started over because it was getting to be so messy. And I finally got everything to work. So this is now in place. The whole milestone for 8.3.0 is done. So there's a new version of Rocks out there, 8.3.0. I'm going to test it this morning at work with a project that we're using it on, just to make sure everything works and that there are no surprises. I would be surprised if there are surprises, but I think at this point, we're good. So moving on to 9. So I have already created a 9.0.0 branch, and I started updating everything for .NET 9 preview version, latest version of language. Actually, now that I say that, I'm not sure. Yeah, language preview. Okay, I did do that correctly. Okay. So I've got this all set up now, and it doesn't quite work. Well, one of the things that I tried to do is update all the packages in the CodeGen project to use like the latest versions, even if they're out, like they're pre-release. And what I discovered was, when projects change or they remove types or whatever, and I've got to do all this mapping, I realized that, well, wait a minute. One of the features I want to do in 9 is do this and make this analyzer be an error. So what that's going to effectively do is this is going to cause, I think, the most churn in this project. But it's for the better, because then I don't have to actually use any specific types. All of the mapping stuff that I do within it is going to go away, because I don't care. I'm not going to try to say, well, if I need to make a closed generic of a specific type, what do I pass in to those type parameters? Not necessary anymore. So that's going to go away. I'm not going to change everything over to being rocks. I had to do that for integration tests, because now that those other two attributes have that obsolete issue on them, or the attribute on them, and we do treat warnings as errors, all the code in there was failing, so I had to go in there and replace that all of that anyway. But I'm not going to do that just yet. That's another task. That's the next one I'm going to do. So I'm going to work on this one, and then if I look at issues and I go to milestones and I go to 9, I kind of wish you could order these, but it is what it is. So we're going to do this one first. Then we're going to do remove existing attributes. We're going to do that one next. And then I might tackle the one about ref-like types. And, if by that point, it will probably be August. So we have September, October, November. That'd be 3 months for the .NET team to decide we don't want to actually support allows ref struct. We don't want to allow anti-constraints. I would highly doubt at this point, from whatever I've read, that is a feature that may potentially be on the chopping block. I could be wrong, but I don't want to invest too much work into that if there'd be any chance that it seems like they might do something to remove it. So I don't think they are. I think it's going to stay there. So I think that'll be the next one I work on. So let's get moving on this issue, which again is only allowing open generics. So how are we going to do this? What we're going to do is in the, not the analyzer, but in the Is it the diagnostics or the descriptor? Type is closed. We're going to make this an error, which that is going to break a test down here. And by the way, I should also mention this. I'm using now the preview version of 2022, and I'm also targeting .NET 9 Preview 6, I believe is the one I have installed. I don't know why, but sometimes I'm getting all these red squiggles here for fixed formatting. I have no idea why. I don't know why it thinks that this is bad. I mean, my editor config, if I look at that, and I'm saying tab. Oh, the indent style is 3. 1, 2. Yeah, it is 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, okay. So I don't know what it's complaining about. I have no idea, but that's wrong. So it doesn't it doesn't fail my builds though. So that is a good thing. But if you see a lot of red, well, I'm going to be doing some recording for the next couple of times. I'm guessing it's just a bug with the preview version. But do I submit I could go in here and say, I got to re-enter my credentials. Oh, great. Okay, wonderful. Report a problem. So I could do that. I'm not going to do that now. But anyway, so we've changed this now. This is now a error. So this should pass. I've already, I think, with closed generics, if I remember right, there's 2 that I think will go away now. Is the duplicate constructor and the type as matched with non-virtual descriptor. And the reason why is because this was only showing up in the case where, if I could go back here, I think I have, do I have a case of this descriptor? This should also be error. But I think I have duplicate constructor test. This is going to go away because the only reason this was showing up is because we were allowing closed generics. And you could run into the case of this. If you decide to make an instantiation of this class, passing in object and object, the compiler is going to give you an error because it's going to basically say, is it something like ambiguous match or something like that between these two? And that's on you. You can't do that. So it's no longer the issue of Rox having to try to find this or deal with this. So those 2 are going to go away as well. So let's actually do that. Duplicate constructor, we can get rid of that. And then what's the other one? Types. I don't know if I have one with that one. No, I don't. So, but we can delete them from here. And that is duplicate constructor tests. And that is 12. Hold on. We can also go here and delete that because we don't need it anymore. Duplicate constructor and diagnostics. Duplicate constructor. No, wait. Get rid of that one. And this is also going to affect that in other places where I'm looking forward to running tests around this. It's going to yell because they're not there, but that's exactly what I want. Type is match with non-virtual descriptor. That is 11. We can get rid of that one and close this. Get rid of that one and that one. Okay. The other ones I think stick. Yep, they all stick. Okay. So now that we're in here, what doesn't work in here? See, the problem with this too is because of this error, if you can see down the bottom here, is that it now throws in 16,000 errors because reasons. So you actually have to go to the output and see what the problem is. Kind of sucks, but needs. That's one thing to keep in mind. You can always go to the output window and see your output from the build, or if you're using the command line, then you're fine. But then you don't have to try to deal with trying to look for things in the output window or in the error list. It should work there, but whatever. Okay, so if constructors length, we found a rare case where they're duplicate constructors. We don't need to do this check anymore. So I think, yeah, since that's there, I think we can just get rid of this and say boom. And that should take care of that. And then this one, methods have match with non-virtual. Now here's an interesting one because we should be able to mockable methods. I think that's the only, well, it's mockable methods. Has match. So this whole has match thing, I think is just, we don't need it, and we can get rid of this, which means we can get rid of this and this and then this, which of course is going to break more things, but that's okay because this doesn't exist anymore. So that can go away. Okay. Now, when we build again and we go to our output, now it's going to say things like this, which KR, where's that being? No, where are you defined? Okay, this can go away when I'm doing that. Was that never being assigned? For a class. Oh, for a class. Because in a class, oh, it was being assigned here. So I'm almost positive this is for the case where you have, because the structure that we're getting should never cause any type issues anymore. If you've given us a type that breaks, it's on you. So we shouldn't have to handle this case as it being a problem. And then we don't pass this in. Now, I could be wrong, because I can be wrong. This is go to definition. I thought all KR is find all references. So if I take this off, then it wasn't even being done here? All right, fine. And now it succeeds. Okay, so we've upped the thing to say if you find a closed generic, it's now an error. We've upped the thing where we say if we don't even have to look for that anymore. Now in our tests here, it is a bit of a problem because we don't run the analyzers on our generators. So if we are doing a closed generic here, like we are here, this is, I believe, still going to work because we haven't removed this attribute just yet. So, and we don't run our analyzers, and this actually, well, let me think about this. We might run into issues if we actually have cases where we generate bad code. So we're going to have to check this out, all right? Which we would do anyway because we run all of our tests. So let's run this and see what's failing now. Yeah, a bunch of stuff, but that's fine. Duplicate constructors, descriptor tests. Okay, get rid of that. And type has, yeah, so rock analyzer match with non-virtual tests. We can get rid of that thing entirely. Oh, well, shit, there we go. And then this one is a type has match with virtual descriptor. Yeah, we can get rid of that one as well. Okay, now do that. Now let's see what passes in the tests. And we may have some failures, we may not. We have 21. Okay. 21. Let's see. Unfortunately, it's this error. Which, because they changed their thing, it's just saying what's not creating a... Are these all... Aha, they are all closed generics. Yeah, just looking at these. IDB set, made with generic returns. Yeah, so unfortunately, I am going to have to spend some time in this one changing things out, which is fine. I can do that off camera. So, and then report anything that came back. So let's do this. Let's clean this out, close it out, and let's see if the integration tests pass. And I have to remember to always run preview now. So let's just build everything and see what happens. It succeeds. Let's run the integration test. Let's see what happens there. And they all passed. Good. So let's do a commit. Say 318. Removed descriptors, docs, etc. on anything closed generic related. And I don't know if that's too many hyphens or what. It doesn't matter. And we've got it. Okay, so in the remaining time, what we're going to do is just kill this directory. Just completely destroy it because we don't need it. Okay. Now, that's actually going to cause, speaking of an issue file, it's going to cause an issue, which if we go here, yeah, the name mappings doesn't exist anymore. correct, but there should be more than that. A static local function cannot read map types. Yes, all the things with map types. So if we go to generate here, and God, all those red squigglies are just driving me nuts. Generic type mappings, gone. Make sure I got this right. That's gone. This sea of red is just annoying as hell. It really is. If we go to get code, we don't need this anymore. And then it's going to, get type definitions. We don't need this anymore. If it's an open generic definition, then we split and do a comma because we put all the commas in there. We don't even need to do this anymore here. I don't know why it's barking about an if statement there, but it doesn't matter. We can get rid of this. Again, I love deleting code. Deleting code is so much fun. And we don't pass that in anymore. And we don't do that anymore. I wonder if this is also going to make it faster, because we don't have any of this stuff anymore. What is the problem here? Expression values never used. Oh, we can just say that. Because, yeah, you're right. We never... generator driver. Yeah, we don't. But whatever. At least we're being explicit about it now. What is the problem here? Use pattern matching. Huh. Okay. I can deal with that. This is probably also going to be use pattern matching, which I kind of like. That looks better. It looks like VB. Patterns are just, the more they do with it, the more I love it. The more I'm like, yeah, just more. The meme, more is what I want with pattern matching. Give me all the pattern matching. And then we don't do this. Okay, where are we at with our build? Shift F6. Still got failures. Print issues. We don't need map types anymore, which I think was the problem. So if you do generate no omit, no, that's not a problem. Increment, target types, types low sim. Yeah, one of these we can remove. Okay. Test with types, type alias mappings. That's something we need to keep, I believe. Type the low assemblies from. We don't need this, which is now going to cause these to fail, but that is expected. Just trying to format the code a little bit better. And then we do that, and then we do that. And that should clean that up. And the same thing here. We don't need map types anymore. We don't need that. We can put that down there. And then we can do that. These are just printing out whether we have errors or whatever. Okay. So now let's build again. We still got failures, but we should be getting closer at this point. Yeah, there's only like 4 left. There's no argument aliases. Target assemblies, types to, that's a target, types to ignore. Type the assembly from. Well, this shouldn't have generic mappings. That should go away, which means this goes away. And this should not have this anymore. All this goes away. And get mockable types. You should also not have this anymore either. Build again. Down to 2. Yep, you're gone. And you're gone. Build again. No overload. Where is valid? Target. I don't know. ID 06. Crap. We should be doing a block body. Expression body members. I wonder if there's one for, let's look this up quick. If there's one for like local function, because they're differentiating it. Well, it's the IDE one, which sucks because that's specific to Visual Studio, which yes, that's what I'm using, but no, I want you to literally find, well, let's actually, okay, wait a minute. Let's actually grab, okay, well, that's not quite helpful. Code cell rules overview. Okay, so we have Okay, well, these are for these. Okay, fine. I just want to see if there's constructors, methods. What do we have in our? We have accessors. We have constructors. We have methods. We have operators. We have properties. We have indexers. And we have accessors. We have all the ones that we could do. What is the error, though, that we're seeing? IDE 0061. Okay, there. That's what I want. That's what I want you to shut up about. So let's put that. And now, where were you? There? There, you go away. Ha, I win. Okay, so now at least builds. So let's run this and see what happens. Okay, well, we're getting a sea of red. So hold on, I've got some notes in here. I need to remove open generics in rocks test. See if I can remove needing to name things with of object. You know, when I was doing that with generics, I no longer have to do that anymore. So I should see if I can remove that check. I may still need to do that with ref structs and pointers right now, but that would, with ref structs, that'll hopefully get removed anyway either. So I may not be able to remove this, but in the places with actually generating the generic, the mock name or the expectation name, I could probably get rid of that because I don't need that anymore. And cogen is having fits. Now, I'm going to stop recording with this one. I'm going to take a look at this. I'm kind of thinking this might be an issue that I ran into with the fact that if you say you're doing a create or a make, no, because the cogen project never cared about. I had an issue that if you were making a generic, if you're doing a create or make, that's what I'm thinking of. Then what I didn't, because it's a flags, I didn't have it separated out. And so I ended up generating types with like create space pipe space make or comma or something like that, because that's what happens when you have a flags enum and you have more than one flag in it. It prints out all of them. And I'm like, no, I can't do that. I don't know what the case is here. I would imagine I've not broken everything because my integration test passed. So there's something else here that probably when I find it is going to fix all of these errors, or at least the vast majority of them. One other thing I wanted to mention real quick is that when I updated all of the NuGet packages, even to preview versions, I was getting some very weird, random, occasional issues with something in the bowels of Roslyn. Like I'd get overflow exceptions. I got just invalid operation exceptions in different places. And it was really, really weird. So I decided not to update all the reference packages to other open source projects and whatnot to their latest versions. I'm not sure what the issue is. Again, I'm in preview with a lot of stuff here from now on until November. So this project is going to stick with what it currently references until I'm pretty sure everything is good, and then I'll start, because I bet a bunch of other packages will start updating because 9's coming out and they'll do the same thing. So we'll see. In any event, I'll check some of these. I'll change the tests here. I'll check this out and see what's going on, and then I'll pick it up in the next episode. Thank you all for watching. Leave comments and questions below. See you in the next episode.